Hello ladies and gentlemen, once again I am Darnock with TGN bringing you another StarCraft 2 1 vs 1 cast. And oh, look at that, we have some information down here. Also a good luck have fun BBQ, which is the best type of a game beginning greeting I can think of. But this is going to be a best of 3 cast from the group stages of the sc2ro tournament, which is a Romanian tournament. That's what the RO does stand for, and it is from the group stages. I don't remember if I said if it was best of 3 or not, so it is a best of 3. And let's go ahead and introduce the players. In the south of Antigua Shipyards, we do have Empire Kas as the blue Terran player. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him. His opponent a little bit more underground. That's going to be Dignitas Bling. He is in the orange, and he is playing as the Protoss race. Now, the thing about Bling is, a lot of you probably haven't heard of him. I was doing some research on him actually recently because of his WCG results, which I'll talk about shortly. But I was doing some research, and previous to WCG, his best, which is World Cyber Games for those of you who don't know, previous to WCG, his best finish was like 4th place in some random tournament that gave him like $200 for his finish. So like he has had no great tournament success whatsoever. His opponent, on the other hand, obviously is Empire Kas, and he hasn't won anything really big. Like, he hasn't won an MLG or an NASL or an IPL or anything of that nature, but he has won a whole bunch of random online cups, placed in the top 3 so many times, and his biggest claim to fame is finishing in 3rd for TSL 3, which was a wonderful tournament closer to the beginning of this year. Placed 3rd below Thorzane and Naniwa, which is obviously a very strong finish. Got a good chunk of money from that. However, I was alluding to Bling's his WCG showing. There we go. Words are hard, ladies and gentlemen. And here's why. He has actually been doing very well at WCG. I have some of his stats on my second monitor here, because he had a pretty good tear. He started out in the group stages, and he defeated Red Archon, who's a very strong Chinese player, Huey Kaki, Straylock, Lowly, and Cloud, which is a crazy hard European lineup to take down, but he did defeat all of them, went undefeated in his group stage. When he got into the playoffs, he then beat Killer, who's a very strong South American, I think he's from South America, South American Zerg. Then he did have to face MVP, which does suck, obviously, because MVP is a god, but he was able to take a game off of MVP, did end up getting defeated 2-1 there, but still, even being able to take a single game off MVP is actually a huge accomplishment. So I'm really excited to see what Bling has to show us today. I think these replays are from right before WCG. So we'll see if he is on fire now, or if this was his start to get on fire when he did go to WCG. So we're going to see how that does work out. Now, Kas has gone for a gasless 1-Rax expand. Not a build we see too much against Protoss, but it is getting safer and safer as more and more these days we'll see Protosses go for a 1-gate fast expand, which is what we're seeing from Bling right now. He's bringing this probe down to plop down that Nexus. There it does go. So Kas obviously going to be fine. If there had been some sort of 3-gate aggression or something of that nature, he might have been in some trouble because he has no bunkers, just has a few Marines, and obviously Stalkers and Zealots are pretty good against Marines, but Kas is going to be pretty safe. He does have this his second base up, his first expansion, morphing that into an orbital right now, and he's adding on 3 more barracks, only just now actually, throwing down his first gas, so he's going to be powering up here very strongly. That's a phrase that I believe Artosis not necessarily coined, but has popularized through his casting. Basically, what you do when you're powering is you get up a very fast expansion, and then you get a whole bunch of infrastructure up very quickly. In this case, Kas is 4 barracks, and then you start to go for your tech. You start to grab your gases and things like that. So Kas is going to be powering right now. He's going to have quite a few Marines very shortly here. I wonder if he's actually planning on putting on some pressure, or if he just wants to be completely safe against whatever Bling throws at him. Because no matter what Bling does at this point, Kas is just going to have so many Marines. It's not really going to matter until Bling does get High Templars or Colossi or anything of that nature. Now, Bling does have his Nexus finishing up of his own. There it is, the probes, happy little probes, spreading out across that mineral line, mining to their heart's content. And is Bling going to be moving out on the map, or is he just moving to a better position? Looks like he's just positioning his army for optimal defense, lining up those sentries. So they are all within a force field range. And then let's see, what does Bling have going on in his base? He has added on a couple more of these gateways, and he has a robotics facility just now morphing in. And he's going to go for an immortal out of that first. So he's actually pretty blind right now. In fact, wow, okay. In fact, Bling has not scouted whatsoever, not one little bit. So he actually doesn't even know. No, okay, he does know the spawn position of Kas, because he did get a probe here. It was killed or turned around by Kas's units, but he knows where Kas is at least. However, he has no idea what Kas has in his main, what Kas has in his natural, whether he's expanded, whether he's one-basing or anything like that. So things are a little bit dangerous for Bling right now, and he's actually continuing that immortal production, which is very surprising. I would have thought he would have gone for an observer relatively quickly so he can get some sort of map awareness. But he's not doing that, and we're going to see, oh man, this actually could destroy Bling. Back in the main base of Kas, we see he has added on a couple of tech labs, and the reason I say Bling might be in some trouble is because Kas has a Ghost Academy out right now. He's going for that awesome 2-base Ghost build, which we're seeing more and more lately, which I absolutely love. I think it's so cool. And again, Sentries and Immortals, Ghosts are going to be great. However, Kas is going in here a little bit prematurely. He doesn't have any Ghosts here, so Bling gets some great force fields right there. He has no Zealots to really deal serious damage to those units, but still, he's going to be fine. Kas is forced to head back home, and Bling is just going to go cuddle with his force fields, apparently, with the rest of his army, and it looks as if Bling is going to be giving chase. Now, Bling has a proxy pylon over here at the third base of Kas, so Kas could be in some trouble here. There is a bunker going down, just got started though, so it's not going to be ready in time, or at least it shouldn't if Bling is snappy about this. However, I do want to point out Bling doesn't have any Zealots, so he's not going to have very many units that are great for tanking damage. He's probably going to want to lead with the Stalkers, but Stalkers get focused down pretty quickly by a large group of Marines and Marauders like we see here. So Bling isn't going to be able to crack this very easily, but it looks as if he is going to be going for it. There we go. He is getting the Zealots in front. There's an Observer coming over here as well, and here we go. We do see he is charging forward. Force fields go down around the bunker, so it cannot be repaired. However, Kas still doing a pretty decent job of defending this. He does have one Ghost here. I'm trying to select it, but I can't quite get it. Does he have an EMP? Stop moving around, Ghost. I want to select you. I want to select you, Mr. Ghost. There it is. This Ghost does have an EMP. So if Bling tries to charge up this ramp once again, things could turn around pretty quickly for him. Now, if he's aware, he is going to know that this Ghost is here because he has an observer, but the Ghost is kind of hard to see as it is in the middle of that clump of units. So Bling might charge up, and he might be in some trouble if he does, and it looks as if he's posturing once again to try and get up that ramp, and here he comes. We're going to see the EMP here pretty shortly. Kas, he got EMP that army, man, and there we go. We see a great EMP going down, completely knocks out the shields of both Immortals, which are the real damage-dealing units in this composition. One Immortal goes down very quickly. The second one isn't getting focused down, though, and that could be Kas's deathly misstep here as his army is getting very, very low. He pulls SCVs. He is going to be able to clean this up. How many SCVs were killed? A total of 15 SCVs have fallen thus far. If we take a look at the worker supply, we see Kas is now just down to 40 workers compared to the 53 harvesters of Bling. So Bling probably going to head back home at this point. Yeah, he's just bringing those Zealots back to his natural. He's dealt a good amount of damage, and he actually really needs to go on the defensive because we see Kas has a much larger army supply than Bling does right now. However, Bling, he does have 2 sentries on the ground. They should have about 2 force fields apiece by the time that Kas moves out, if he does decide to try and push the aggression. But he's not going to be going for that. He's just going to take a third, which I love. So smart. A lot of players would say, oh no, I have not very many SCVs. I better attack. Kas just says, well, you know what? I'll just build another command center and get more SCVs. And he can do that. He can actually do a whole lot right now because I'm not sure if he's aware of this or not, but he does have a greatly superior armory supply to Bling, so he's actually very, very safe. Bling does have a Colossus out now at this point. He is building another one. He does have that extended thermal lance on the way, so he is going to start having a lot of high-tech units here pretty quickly. Kas does not know about this quite yet. He does actually have not 3 starports. He has 2 starports out. He can produce 3 units at a time, so he's obviously going to be able to get those Viking numbers up very, very quickly, but he is pushing out right now, and he's not really going to be prepared for these 2 Colossi coming out here from Bling. However, Kas just has so many units compared to Bling, he should actually be pretty safe. Plus, he actually has 6 medevacs. Holy moly, he got a lot of medevacs quickly. So this Terran army just actually isn't going to die whatsoever. And Bling could possibly be out of position. We saw Kas take down those rocks. He's going to have an easy attack path to the third. And oh no, Bling being caught completely out of position here. And we do see some great EMPs go down. These 2 Colossi not getting focused, though. They have no shields, but their armor is still very much intact. And there we go. We see a Marauder Strike Force there. Is able to focus down both Colossi very, very easily. And now Bling is in a lot of trouble. He did just get out another Colossi. This might be his saving grace. It might protect him from dying for the time being. But now Kas is wise to Bling's games. He knows that Colossi are up. He has started Viking production 3 at a time. And Bling is in some trouble. It's going to be very difficult for him to take a third base, as of course Kas has opened up this avenue of attack. Kas morphing his third command center into an orbital as we speak, floating that factory over Bling's main base. They're just checking out what there is to see. Doesn't really see anything too meaningful, but at least he knows there's not a Ninja Dark Shrine or anything of that nature. Now, we do see some interesting things coming out from Bling here, though. At the back of his natural, he has gone for that double forge style. We are seeing a lot lately. +1/+1 about to finish. He is adding on a couple more gateways. That's going to bring his total gateway count up to 7. And he's also going for a Twilight Council, so it looks like he's planning on 2-basing pretty hard for the foreseeable future. Doesn't really feel too safe to expand, which is pretty reasonable. If he tried taking a third, Empire Kas would probably just kill it very easily, as he's a pretty awesome army right now. He does have no upgrades, though, so that could end up turning things in Bling's favor if Kas isn't keeping up on those. He is going to finish +1 attack here pretty shortly, but I believe he just has the single engineering bay, and yeah, there it is. So if we see 2/2 come out from Bling here pretty quickly, and it looks as if he's halfway there. He does have +2 armor coming out, and there's the +2 weapons. That could start overwhelming Kas here pretty quickly. Kas, though, choosing the perfect time to get aggressive, is beginning to push out, and if he wanted, he could actually drop the majority of this army into the main of Bling's right now and try and pull some of his forces out of position that way. He certainly does have the medevac count to be able to pull a move like that off. The question is he going to do that, or is he just going to try and poke up the main? He is moving to the cliff over here, so nope, he's just going to go up that ramp. What a jerk. He does scan, moving those Vikings into position. Barely any anti-air here for Bling. Oh no, loses both those Colossi so quickly, and now he is in a lot of trouble. He has a whole lot of Zealots here, but they don't have charge yet. That's only halfway done. No force fields. We see Kas just charges up that ramp, and Bling is beginning to look pretty dead, folks. He has no answer for this whatsoever. This Immortal never going to see the light of day, as that robo facility does get taken down, and even the Vikings have landed using those Gatling guns, pew-pewing away at whatever they can reach. Vikings actually have super short range when they're landed, to make up for their siege tank-like range when they are in the air. And we're going to see Bling micro back and forth here a little bit quick, but there's a big stim from Kas. Nice stutter step micro right here. The Zealot's absolutely melting against this ball of bionic power that is the Ghosts, the Marines, and the Marauders. And there is the GG from Dignitas Bling, as he just was not able to handle that whatsoever. So Kas is going to take game number 1.